What if the mental fog, tension, and constant distraction you feel every day aren't signs of weakness, but the result of your brain operating in a state of constant alert? What if stress isn't just a feeling you experience when life gets busy, but a precise chemical signal that shapes how your brain stores memories, makes decisions, and even imagines the future? And what if cortisol, the hormone often blamed for burnout and fatigue, isn't your enemy, but a messenger waiting for your nervous system to guide it toward balance and clarity? Imagine waking up in the morning. The alarm rings, and before your feet touch the floor, your mind is already active. Thoughts jump from yesterday's unfinished work, upcoming tasks, bills, and social obligations. Your heart beats a little faster, your chest tightens, and your shoulders feel tense. This is cortisol at work, mobilizing energy, sharpening attention, and preparing your body to respond. It isn't harmful on its own. It's designed to help you survive and thrive. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but that label oversimplifies its function. It helps you wake up, focus, and meet challenges. Without it, your brain would struggle to solve problems, pay attention, or recognize what's important. The problem isn't cortisol itself, it's modern life, which rarely signals when to stop. Emails, notifications, social comparison, and constant exposure to news keep your nervous system on low-level alert continuously. Our ancestors experienced stress in short, sharp bursts. Danger appeared, cortisol surged, action followed, and calm returned. Now stress rarely ends. The system stays partially activated day after day. Over time, the brain adapts. This is not failure, it's intelligent biology. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, reasoning, and self-control, loses influence, while older, more reactive circuits dominate. This shift doesn't make you less intelligent, it makes you reactive. Decisions feel rushed, creativity narrows, memory fragments. The hippocampus, which consolidates memories into usable knowledge, is especially sensitive to cortisol. Short bursts improve memory, but prolonged exposure weakens it. That's why, under constant stress, you might reread something but fail to retain it, or struggle to recall details you once remembered easily. Your brain isn't failing, it's adapting to the signals it perceives. Urgency dominates, so attention prioritizes immediate reactions over deep reflection. Think about a student preparing for an exam. One studies under constant fear of failure, obsessively checking the clock, worrying about grades, and comparing themselves to peers. Another studies with structured guidance, brief breaks, and moments of calm reflection. The first may spend longer hours, but retains less. The second studies less, but integrates knowledge more effectively. The difference isn't intelligence, it's how cortisol shapes brain function. Workplaces reflect the same principle. Constant pressure produces short-term output, but over time, creativity declines, problem-solving becomes rigid, and decisions rely on habit rather than insight. In contrast, environments that challenge employees while allowing recovery see more innovation, flexible thinking, and sustained performance. Same brains, different chemistry. Even subtle social stresses affect cortisol. Humans are social by nature, and feeling judged, excluded, or uncertain triggers the same stress response as physical danger. Supportive relationships, trust, and belonging lower cortisol and restore cognitive flexibility. A short conversation with a friend or mentor can calm your nervous system faster than any gadget or supplement, because your biology interprets social support as safety. Nature also offers a profound reset. Spending minutes in natural environments lowers cortisol, restores attention, and signals safety to the brain. Walking among trees, feeling sunlight, or observing open space communicates calm, allowing reflection and deep thinking. Even viewing greenery through a window can reduce stress markers, showing that the brain responds to signals of recovery and safety, not just action or threat. Cortisol doesn't just influence how alert you feel, it affects how your brain processes information over time. Under prolonged stress, the hippocampus, the region responsible for consolidating memories, can become less efficient. Memories may feel fragmented or fleeting. Important details get lost in the noise, while trivial information sticks because the brain prioritizes what seems urgent. This is why, when stressed, you might remember minor mistakes vividly, yet forget what you studied or planned carefully. Time perception also changes under cortisol's influence. Chronic stress collapses the mind into the immediate present. Planning for the future feels overwhelming, and long-term goals seem abstract or unattainable. When cortisol levels decrease, perspective returns. You regain the ability to think ahead, make reasoned decisions, and evaluate consequences. The future, once blurred, becomes vivid again. Consider a teacher managing multiple classes and responsibilities. Constant interruptions and looming deadlines keep the nervous system on alert. Tasks feel never-ending, and even small mistakes loom large. Stress narrows focus to immediate issues, making long-term curriculum planning difficult. Introduce structured breaks, supportive colleagues, or even brief outdoor walks during the day, and the teacher's brain begins to recover. Memory consolidates, creativity returns, and decisions are more thoughtful. The chemical signals, the rise and fall of cortisol, directly influence cognitive performance. Sleep plays a similar role. During restorative sleep, the brain recalibrates stress systems and consolidates memory. Poor sleep elevates baseline cortisol, while high cortisol makes it harder to fall and stay asleep. This creates a feedback loop that slowly erodes mental clarity. Small improvements in sleep, consistent bedtime routines, reducing screen exposure, calming pre-sleep rituals can dramatically improve memory, attention, and emotional resilience. Physical movement communicates safety to the brain. Walking, stretching, yoga, or light exercise metabolizes cortisol. Even a 5-minute walk between work tasks can shift the nervous system from reactive mode to reflective mode, allowing deeper thought and better decision-making. Movement signals the body is capable and safe, reducing the constant need for hypervigilance. Over time, these small cues help restore clarity, focus, and cognitive flexibility. Breathing is another direct method to regulate stress. Slow, controlled breathing activates calming neural pathways almost immediately. Box breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, or counting each inhale and exhale signals safety to the nervous system, lowering cortisol in minutes. This is not just relaxation, it is direct chemical communication to the brain. Shifting focus from threat detection to higher-order thinking. Routine and predictability further shape brain function. The nervous system reduces stress when it can anticipate what comes next. Simple daily patterns around waking, meals, and work create safety cues, conserving mental energy for reflection, problem-solving, and creativity. Even minor predictability, like consistent morning rituals or planning your tasks in advance, signals to the brain that the environment is stable and that focus can safely expand. Interpretation is a powerful lever. Research shows that seeing stress as preparation rather than threat minimizes harmful cortisol effects. Two individuals facing the same workload can have opposite outcomes. One collapses under pressure, while the other thrives simply because of mindset. Viewing a challenge as an opportunity to grow signals to the brain that cortisol is functional, not damaging. Real-life examples abound. Entrepreneurs often face high stress, deadlines, and unpredictable outcomes. Those who succeed long-term are rarely the ones who work hardest without pause. Instead, they structure recovery, exercise regularly, seek mentorship, and interpret challenges positively. Their brains maintain flexibility, memory, and creative insight despite cortisol surges. Mental clarity, memory, and time perception are all deeply entwined with cortisol regulation. By understanding how the brain responds to stress signals, and by introducing recovery, movement, sleep, and positive interpretation, we can restore clarity even in high-pressure environments. Practical tools for mastering cortisol and restoring mental clarity are surprisingly simple, yet profoundly effective. Sleep is the foundation. Aim for consistent bedtimes, a calm pre-sleep routine, and minimal screen exposure in the hour before bed. Even small improvements in sleep duration and quality allow your brain to recalibrate stress systems, consolidate memory, and enhance focus. Movement is another critical tool. Walking, stretching, yoga, or light exercise metabolizes excess cortisol and communicates to your nervous system that the body is safe and capable. Brief movement breaks between work tasks, just 5 minutes, can shift the brain from reactive to reflective mode, improving creativity and decision-making. Consistency matters more than intensity. Regular movement rewires the brain over time, improving both clarity and resilience. Breathing exercises are a fast-acting and reliable method to lower cortisol. Techniques like box breathing, slow diaphragmatic breathing, or simply counting inhales and exhales signal to your nervous system that threat has passed. Even a few minutes of focused breathing during a stressful meeting or before a challenging task can restore calm and improve cognitive flexibility. Routine and predictability provide another layer of control. The nervous system responds to stability and safety. Simple, repeatable daily patterns for waking, meals, work, and rest conserve cognitive energy. Knowing what comes next allows your brain to allocate resources to reflection, learning, and creative problem-solving instead of constant hypervigilance. Social connection is biologically essential. Humans are wired for connection, and support from friends, family, or colleagues reduces cortisol naturally. Even brief, meaningful interactions can buffer stress, improve memory, and restore perspective. Mentorship, collaborative problem-solving, or just sharing a laugh communicates safety to the brain and allows mental clarity to return. Interpretation and mindset are equally powerful. Viewing stress as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat transforms cortisol's impact. Two people under identical pressure may have completely different outcomes based solely on how their brain interprets the signals. Seeing a challenge as preparation primes the nervous system to respond adaptively, turning cortisol into a tool rather than a liability. Nature also plays a restorative role. Short walks in parks, exposure to sunlight, or even observing greenery from a window lowers cortisol and restores attention. These small, repeated interactions with natural environments signal safety and allow the brain to shift from reactive mode to deep thinking mode. Journaling is another practical exercise. Writing down thoughts, challenges, or accomplishments signals completion and provides perspective. This simple habit helps reduce rumination, lower cortisol, and integrate experiences into long-term memory, supporting both clarity and wisdom. Mental clarity is not a distant goal. It is a state that returns when the nervous system perceives safety, recovery, and control. Cortisol is listening constantly. When the signals change, the brain reorganizes naturally. Over time, with consistent sleep, movement, breathing, social support, nature exposure, and mindful interpretation, focus, creativity, and calm emerge effortlessly. You are not broken. Your brain is responding exactly as it was designed. The challenge is not to eliminate stress, but to guide it, manage it, and harness it for long-term mental clarity, wisdom, and resilience. With these strategies, your mind can recover, refocus, and thrive, even amidst the pressures of modern life. By understanding cortisol, respecting your brain's biological signals, and implementing simple practices, you reclaim control over attention, memory, and decision-making. Clarity is not luck, It is cultivated, maintained, and strengthened through consistent practical actions. The future of your mental performance lies not in avoiding stress, but in mastering it with awareness, reflection, and resilience.